Hello. Just getting comfy by my nice elephant that I have now here, covering loads of stuff, duvets and whatnot. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're all doing all right. I'm having those intense feelings of sadness when I see someone and then they go and I'm like, oh, come back. So it's always really nice to come on here and read when I'm feeling like that, because even though you're across the Tinternet waves, we are still sort of connecting and being together in our own way. So thanks for joining me. We are on this book, On the Path to Enlightenment. It's full of quotes from Buddhist monks, and it's pretty great because you can jump into any chapter. I've actually split this chapter in two because it's a biggie. It's the six, hang on, let me get it right. La, 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 la. Yes, the six perfections or transcendent virtues. So virtues that we need to cultivate, I guess, to attain enlightenment. So, you know, I'm down for learning about those. Cool, so I thought I did the first three last time, but I actually did the first four. I was really going for it. But there's still a big old chunk of book here. So, to recap, just going to say what those virtues are, basically. Where's the start? Sorry, I'm doing a lot of page flicking. Right, the first one is generosity. We like that one, that's a good one. The second one is discipline. Yeah, it's a good one too. I mean, they're all good, obviously. The next one is patience. And we did a little meditation at the end where I did a mantra on patience, because, you know, we need patience at the moment, don't we? And then I did do the fourth one, which is joyous effort. So that's fun. Ooh, better put my Mac on silent. There we are. Okay, so we are now moving on to concentration. Okay, bear with me with the names. I'll try my best. This is from Kangyo Rinpoche, Giving Up Attachment to Wealth. The fleeting pleasures of this world are like the canopies of clouds that appear one moment in the sky and are gone the next. People immerse themselves in these enjoyments, claiming that they are necessary for their livelihood and indispensable for their survival. And yet the life of humankind is no more than a flash of lightning, a swiftly passing interlude, which can in no way be extended beyond its term, and is all the while attended by three sufferings, rampant like a gang of thieves: the suffering of change, the suffering of suffering, and all-pervading suffering in the making. In particular, wealth and enjoyments are the occasion of ruin in this life and those to come. Beings are in a situation that is like a turbulent river rushing irresistibly toward the sea. They are constantly tormented and exhausted by the tasks of accumulating, preserving, and augmenting their possessions. Their minds are pulled this way and that by desires, and they are never satisfied. When they possess a few riches, they become puffed up and look down on others. Fearful of losing what they have, they grow mean and stingy. They are so tight-fisted that they do not even eat their own food or wear their finery. As a result, they wander after death in the limitless ocean of the lower realms. Wealth and precious possessions gained by evil means, and sinful thoughts and actions issuing from false and deceitful attitudes, are black like summer clouds heavy with rain. They are the source of unbounded suffering both in the present and in future lives. By contrast, those who own little are safe from enemies and robbers. Those who know contentment have reached the summit of riches. I will. I feel that. Giving up attachment to bad company. On the whole, ordinary people are foolish and behave like spoiled children. Their mind streams are clogged with wrong thoughts, and their actions are unvirtuous. They praise themselves and say unpleasant things about others. They are filled with the venom of the defilements. Their attitudes and conduct are as poisonous as a snake's tongue, and they are surrounded by the harsh atmosphere of conflict. For such people, negative states are constantly on the increase. Giving up attachment to objects of the senses. Until one is able, through the practice of clear insight, to tame the elephant of one's mind, which is intoxicated and driven wild by the deceptive poisons of desire objects, one will never truly perceive the latter's defects, for they always appear as positive qualities. There is nothing more specious. Don't know that word. Hi, Ben. There is nothing more specious and liable to deceive people than the objects of the senses. Therefore, until the time comes for the compounded aggregate of this physical form to fall apart, in other words, when death occurs and the body is placed on a bier and carried away by 4 men, or loaded on an ox and transported to the cemetery, we should dwell in peaceful woodland glades or other places of solitude, away from the distractions of business and society. Who else has been in glades? I have. It's been great. Okay. In praise of solitude. Secluded places and places of solitude in the wild, where there are no irritating and harmful circumstances, are a delight to the spirit. It is there that weariness with samsara will develop. There one will avoid the society of people whose attitudes are false, who are engaged in the worldly occupations of trade, agriculture, and so on. Likewise, one will not be harassed by the obligation of paying taxes, or commissioned for compulsory service and the payment of duties. One will no longer be fretting about whether one has enough to live on. One will be free from the troubles of wage earning and the need to depend on helpers or attendants or indeed anyone else. Out in the wilds, there are only the carefree birds and wild animals, the sound of whose voices do not grate upon the ear. In places such as these, noble beings find a joyful abundance of all that they need, pure water and all kinds of fruit and edible plants. Natural caves are found in the rocks, and shelters of grass and leaves are spacious enough to accommodate the 4 kinds of activity, which are, these are traditional names for places at a greater or smaller distance from settlements, and that are thus not agitated by the activities of ordinary life. How wonderful if we could find such pleasant dwellings, rejoicing in the cool shade of the trees. Amen. The actual practice of concentration. Practitioners should stay in solitude and rest in concentration without allowing themselves to be carried away by distraction, even for a moment. This constitutes the higher training of the mind. Because body and mind are interrelated, if one adopts a correct physical posture, the subtle channels with their energies will be straight, and this will facilitate the birth of realization in the mind. It is therefore important to sit on a comfortable seat and adopt the 7-point posture of Vajrayana. Oh, shall we try it, boys and girls? Okay, let's try the 7-point posture. 1. The legs should be crossed. 2. The eyelids should be lowered, and the eyes should be gazing along the line of the nose. 3. The body should be kept straight, not leaning to one side or another. The shoulders should be level. The chin should be slightly tucked in so that the nose is in line with the navel. Ooh, that's quite a lot tucked in, I think. The tip of the tongue should rest on the palate behind the teeth. The breath should be allowed to rise and fall slowly and naturally. This posture is referred to as the life tree or vital axis of the mind, for it helps to prevent it from getting lost in distraction, like tying a feeble sapling to a firm support. One must then persevere in concentration, keeping the mind balanced in equipoise and focusing it exclusively on the specific object of concentration, without letting it stray elsewhere, even to virtuous objects, let alone negative ones, and without letting it lapse into a vague blankness. The object on which the mind should focus one-pointedly may be with or without form, and from time to time, one should, through investigation, make sure that the mind is focused on its positive target. It is thus that one engages alternately in the practices of analytic and resting meditation. A beginner might concentrate on an image of the Buddha, for example. The time of meditation should be gradually extended. At length, all that appears to the mind, contrived and fixed upon by thought, will vanish into emptiness, the ultimate reality. This is not a state of nothingness. This is not a state of nothingness in which nothing can be perceived. All phenomena, forms and so forth, appear unobstructedly, but they have no true existence. They lack all concrete attributes, with the result that there is in fact nothing real to observe. When the mind remains in a state without torpor or excitement, dwelling one-pointedly on its object, undisturbed by thoughts, this is calm abiding, shamatha. The perfect recognition of the mind's nature of primal wisdom, or the absence of clinging to the object of concentration, is the post-meditation or insight, vipassana. Shamatha and vipassana partake of the same nature. The cloud of jewels gives the following definition. Shamatha is the one-pointed concentration of the mind. Vipassana is perfect discernment. I wonder what it was like to try that posture if you did it. Okay, this is Jigme Lingpa. As soon as you think of meditating, immediately enter the flow of mindfulness of the present moment of awareness. If you maintain that continuously, there is no risk of the slightest mistake, the slightest confusion or wrong direction. It is unawareness that leads to wandering in the cycle of suffering. If you recognize this mindfulness, your mental confusion will disappear of itself. Whatever thoughts arise from within that mindfulness, simply remain in the recognition of the observer that notices that a thought is happening without following the thoughts or rejecting the arising of thoughts. In that way, not only are thoughts liberated by themselves, but they become a support of the path. Undercurrents of thoughts that go unnoticed are as if set in stone. They establish repetitive patterns that solidify to perpetuate the endless cycle of existence. Thoughts recognized by mindfulness are like drawings on the surface of water, which disappear as soon as they are drawn. They vanish without contributing to the creation of proliferating tendencies and do not reinforce the cycle of suffering. Easy for you to say. Hi Stephen, hi Craig. Yes, so becoming aware of the thoughts and not trying to push them away. Yes. This is Jiatrul. I do like to try and say the names. It's just a little fun game for me. I know you don't need to hear them, but they're cool names. These monks, they've got cool names. This is Jiatrul Ngawang Tenzin Norbu. To remedy disturbances to your meditation caused by the arising of different states of mind, there are 5 main disturbances to be recognized. 1. Laziness. 2. forgetting the instructions. 3. Dullness and wildness. 4. Lack of effort. And 5. Excessive effort. Remedy these with the following 8 antidotes. Counteract laziness with inspiration, endeavour, faith, and refined flexibility that comes through training body, speech, and mind. Counteract forgetfulness with mindfulness, remembering both words and meaning. Counteract dullness and wildness with alertness to these states of mind. When any of these defects occur in meditation, counteract lack of effort by making the effort to apply the appropriate antidote. When defects are absent, the antidotes are no longer necessary, and you should counteract excessive effort by letting the mind rest in its natural state without antidotes. As you practice sustained calm, you will experience the gradual pacification of the mind in 5 steps, which are illustrated by 5 similes. 1. Meditation like a waterfall pouring down over a cliff. The thoughts continuously follow one another, and at first seem even more numerous than usual, because you have become aware of the mind's movements. 2. Meditation like a river rushing through mountain gorges. The mind alternates between periods of calm and turbulence. 3. Meditation like a wide river flowing easily. The mind moves when disturbed by circumstances, but otherwise rests calmly. 4. Meditation like a lake, lightly ruffled by surface ripples. The mind is slightly agitated on the surface, but remains calm and present in its depth. 5. Meditation like a still ocean, an unshakable, effortless concentration in which antidotes to discursive thoughts are redundant. Sustained calm can momentarily limit negative emotions, but cannot eradicate them. Their full uprooting can be achieved only by the discriminating insight that recognizes the true nature of all phenomena during meditation, and that is aware of everything as empty illusion during post-meditation. Sustained calm is thus the concentration aspect of meditation, while profound insight is its wisdom aspect. Shamatha prepares the mind for the insight of vipassana to show the practitioner that all phenomena are inherently devoid of substantial existence. Both sustained calm and profound insight should be permeated by compassion. Uniting sustained calm and profound insight will eventually lead to a state of sameness in which all concepts of subject and object disappear. Hi, Ben. Again, with the nothingness and nothing is really real. How does that make us feel, eh, boys and girls? Sometimes I love it, and sometimes it freaks me out. Anyway, I think this is the last virtue now. I believe, yes, it is. We are nearing the end. The last of the 6 virtues is wisdom. This is Kangyo Rinpoche. In all, there are 3 kinds of wisdom: the wisdom of hearing, the wisdom of reflection, and the wisdom of meditation. Gradual training in these will result in the perfect accomplishment of vipassana, primordial and non-conceptual wisdom. This wisdom destroys the defilements that prevent the attainment of liberation and removes the cognitive obscurations that prevent omniscience. It is the unmistaken knowledge, first, of ultimate reality, the profound nature of things, and second, of all phenomena that arise within the sphere of deluded perception. Equipped with such knowledge, one is able to pass swiftly through the city of existence, which karma and defilements have made so difficult to cross. Thus, one goes beyond suffering and reaches nirvana with ease. The 6 transcendent perfections, generosity and so forth, are causally interrelated and are arranged progressively in terms of subtlety and elevation. They are called transcendent because they are all combined with transcendent wisdom. This is Drigung Jiten Gongpo. Full of vigour, the son of a barren woman climbed a ladder made of rabbit's horn and swallowed the sun and the moon, thus plunging beings in a sea of darkness. That's what the belief in a self is like. This is Ratna Lingpa. Namu Guru, homage to the teacher. I bow at the feet of lotus-born Vajra, manifest body of the conqueror infinite light emanating from the vast space of the absolute dimension, free of concepts, to fulfill the hopes of beings. I, Rinchen Pal, a lawless vagabond, only fit to sleep naked, giving vent to my crazy thoughts, sang this song without head or tail. When I contemplate the outside world, I only see the deceptive appearances of relative truth, ethereal shimmers devoid of ultimate reality. I, the aimless wanderer, have peace of mind. When I look at my thinking mind, I only see movements without trace, like those of the wind. Ungraspable presence where birth and death are one. I, the aimless wanderer, have peace of mind. The painful nature of cyclic existence is as illusory as last night's dream, ungraspable and devoid of reality. I, the aimless wanderer, have peace of mind. Liberation, all bliss, only the pure essence of my own mind. Its nature is emptiness, beyond any reference point. I, the aimless wanderer, have peace of mind. The duality of samsara and nirvana is only concepts of good and bad. It is actually a non-duality beyond all reference point. I, the aimless wanderer, have peace of mind. End of chapter 8. There was a lot in that chapter. I hope you enjoyed listening to that. I'm not going to do a meditation now, I don't think, because I don't want to. You'll have to meditate without me. Yeah. Is there anything else I want to say? I hope you're all having a good week. And it's funny weather, isn't it? We had some sun. Hopefully the sun will come back. I don't know. Weird half lockdown times. Just hope we all get to enjoy our summers, even if we're not going anywhere or doing much. I'm starting to freak out a bit that summer's suddenly going to be over and we'll feel like we lost our summer. But we're not losing our summer. Our summer is here. It's fine. Right, I hope you're all well. And if you are not well right now, I hope that you're okay. And I hope you get better soon. And I'll see you soon. Peace out.